Testing, hot outbound call. 1, 2, 3, 4. You want to hear?
Are you ready?
Make the approach. Plant your feet firmly in the ground. Head down. Eyes on the ball. Relax. That's it. Get your left arm straight. Your right arm straight. Relax. Lower your right shoulder. Go!
The Honeymooners Podcast, the only podcast that is all about the greatest show of all time. With the stars, Joe Conti and Louis Fatts.
Welcome, fellow raccoons and members of the Women's Auxiliary. What's happening, all you Hurricanes, Bensonhurst Bombers, and all you Emmett Kellys of the world? You're listening to the Honeymooners Podcast with me, Joe Conti, and my pal, Louis Fatts.
Yeah, I know what a corporation is. When a person or group of persons duly authorized to sell, distribute shares, become a valid intention of the stockholders grouping about together with those shares with the intention of selling those shares comes to an equal interest there. Woo.
I'll buy one share. I'll buy a stock. I don't know. The only discussion-based podcast all about the greatest show of all time. We record in the Non-Productive Studios at 328 or 728 Chauncey Street in Bensonhurst, Brooklyn. Subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts, and if you're on iTunes, give us a 5-star rating and leave a positive review. There's a flub.
One of those two.
Because we'll read them right on the air.
Yeah.
Our home base is non-productive.com/honeymooners. And also like our Honeymooners podcast Facebook page. And follow us on Twitter. And if you want to leave us a voicemail, call the number 240-442-2635. Leave a voicemail, and if it's up to snuff, we'll play it on the show.
Yeah.
And you can email us at
bangzoom1956 at Gmail.
What's going on, Lou?
Joe, number 71. We have a 71 here. Alex Karras. I think a lot of everybody knows who Alex Karras is. Okay, played with the Lions. 58.
Punched a horse.
Yeah, punched a horse as Mongo.
Also was father in Webster.
Webster, adopted Webster. I think he adopted. And
yeah, we think so.
Yeah, he played with the Lions. 58 through 70. He was suspended for the 63 season because he owned like a bar and there was gambling going on. And
oh, really?
Yeah, like this was like pre-Joe Namath stuff. But yeah, so that would happen in 60. But he was also a professional wrestler. 4-time Pro Bowler, 9-time first or second team All-Pro. So
wow,
great career.
He played in 58.
58.
Wow.
Yeah, 58 to 70.
He must have started because he wasn't like because in Blazing Saddles that was 74.
Yeah.
So he wasn't he wasn't an old guy by any means.
No.
He probably must have been just because I think he was retired, right? He's done with football.
Done with football. It's 1970.
And then he started going into wrestling.
No, he was actually a wrestler before that. He was a wrestler during his career.
Really?
Early. He was even going to skip football just to be skip football.
Skip the football.
And be a wrestler. He was
Oh, wow.
Actually, in a decent movie. Well, I guess it's decent. With Alan Alda. It's called Paper Lion. I don't know if you ever seen that.
No,
It's
I love
actually
Alan
based.
Alda.
Yeah, well, it's actually based. He was an awful football player. He's trying to play quarterback. He's actually George Plimpton wrote that book Paper Lion, and they made it into a movie with Alan Alda.
And Alan Alda was playing a football player?
No, he was playing George Plimpton, who was writing this piece, going through the tryout camp of the Detroit Lions.
Oh,
so it's interesting.
Wow.
It's actually interesting.
Oh, Paper Lion?
Paper Lion. There's also a documentary with Plimpton for the same thing, but they made a movie, and Karras is in the movie.
Oh, okay.
So it's called Paper Lion. You get
nice.
it on.
Yeah, Alex Karras. Very good.
So that's Alex Karras. Enough
That's
Alex Karras.
good.
We got a lot. We got a lot.
We got a lot of stuff
got
to
a
do
lot of
today,
stuff
so
today.
we might as well get to it. First of all, we should mention our T-shirts are in.
Yeah.
The Honeymooners Podcast T-shirts. You've probably seen it on the on our Facebook. As we speak, we're getting the page set up so people can order them, and we'll ship them out.
Yep.
But it looks like we're going to do $20 shipped to your house, everything included, $20, one-time fee, done.
Yeah. And if the guy asks for a tip, you just say, your hand is very dirty.
Your hand is very dirty. Your hand is very dirty. So hopefully by the time this comes out, it'll all be laid out.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we want to get these shirts out because you guys are awesome, and we totally appreciate it. We know that you guys are just really supportive, and we really appreciate it.
It was just a logistics thing. We're trying to get through that.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's basically all
absolutely.
it is. The shirts are there. They're printed. You saw Joe modeling them.
Yes.
I admit I got the particular build for this garment, for this particular garment. But
these guys were just,
the
our
comments-
regulars.
the comments were hysterical.
They're just so great. They're so clever. They don't just put out. They don't just like say a line.
Yeah, like a line.
They say a line with a meaning to it, or tweak it a bit, or
to fit the
just,
situation.
Oh,
It's
you
great.
guys are great.
The
You
lines
really are
great. The lines
funny.
are great.
Always funny. So, all right, we got a lot of stuff we got to do. We are going to start off with an older bit, but we did one a couple of episodes ago, and of course I have to look for it. And here we go. It's a bit we haven't done in a while, but here we go.
The Honeymooners podcast presents Whatever Happened To. The boys go deep into their shallow minds and try to imagine what would have happened to certain situations in the show if the episode had a to be continued or a part 2. Yeah, I know. Joe and Louie need real jobs. And now here's Whatever Happened To.
All right,
Yes,
thank you,
whatever happened to
Joe
him.
Fernandez.
Great Joe
Thank you,
Fernandez.
the great comedian Joe Fernandez with an S. Look him up; he's hilarious. Good friend too. Okay, so our Whatever Happened To. Now this is something that I think every Honeymooners fan has mentioned. I think every group has mentioned it, so we're not breaking any grounds here.
No.
But we just wanted to bring it up, and it's from A Dog's Life.
Dog's life. Yeah.
And it's the end where Ralph goes to give the mutt back, and you got some kisser.
Got some kisser there.
Got some kisser there, and it really does show the soft side of the Ralph Cramden, and it's a wonderful scene. And then of course he goes in there, my dog. You're gonna put that my dog.
Yeah.
And he comes out with 3 dogs. And Alice is like, "What are you doing with my dog?" And you see the new ones, and he leaves.
And he leaves. One with like 2 on a leash and 1 in his arm.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Apparently, 1 was too much to have an apartment. There's no backyard.
Yeah,
but 3 is
three's
okay.
fine.
Yeah, 3 is all right as long as it doesn't go into the audience.
Yeah. Hey, Mr. Garrity will take one. and-
Yes, but of course the
Dusty out in that hall.
Dusty out in that hall. The Whatever Happened To is
Yeah.
whatever happened to the dogs. Exactly.
I mean, it's not easy getting rid of dogs in
Yeah.
Bensonhurst, Brooklyn,
Yeah,
because everybody's
exactly.
in the same situation you are.
Yeah,
A little
exactly.
apartment.
Right. And let's face it, back in the day, maybe when me and Louie were kids, when somebody, when a parent said, listen, we can't have this dog, I'm going to go bring him in the country. My friend used to have a great joke. He goes, yeah, when he says we're bringing him to the country, it means we got on the turnpike, got to exit 6, and open the door and be like, phew, goodbye.
There you go.
And, which is terrible.
Oh,
but,
awful. Awful.
But what do they do in Bensonhurst, Brooklyn?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Nobody's taking these dogs.
Nobody's taking these dogs. Mrs. Manicotti ain't going to take the dog.
It's actually one of them sad ending ones. I mean, you're a dog lover. I'm a dog lover.
Yes.
And most of the people out there are dog lovers.
Of
It's just
course.
like we hate seeing that, like in the pound. And
Yeah, and of
what's going
course.
to happen? Then he comes out, they're going to be destroyed. And you're like, no. You're like, you're holding your face.
Yeah,
like,
people
no.
lose their minds.
Yeah.
Agreed. I understand why.
Yeah.
Even in a sitcom.
Yeah, in a sitcom.
In an
it hits-
imaginary
yeah.
world, people are like, what?
Yeah. Now, I believe Gleason was a dog lover.
That I don't, I don't
think
know.
he had dogs. He always had like a small dog with him. Down he was in
Really?
Florida, I believe maybe somebody out there knows more than me. I guess you can write in.
I'm sure there's 1 or 2.
Yeah, it is really. Oh God.
But yeah, of course, it's a whatever happened to the dogs. And we
don't
know
We don't
everybody's
know.
disgusting.
We don't even know what happened to Lulu.
Yeah.
Never mind these 3.
Yeah, exactly. I know, there's dogs everywhere now. Whatever happened to Lulu?
One went to sleep. That was it. Trixie
Yeah,
went
that
and bought
was
her
it.
eggs.
Yeah,
One was
yeah.
asleep.
At midnight, like
Yeah,
we talked
midnight,
about last week, right?
week.
She's going around at midnight looking for eggs.
Yeah.
But so that's our little whatever happened,
little whatever happened to.
from A Dog's Life
get the
with the
ball
3
rolling here.
dogs. Yeah, to get the ball rolling here. All right, our second thing of the show is there's no title for it. There's no bit for it. There's nothing. it's just one of Norton's great speeches. And ironically, this was something I wanted to do. And ironically, Louis was, not ironically, but coincidentally, Louis was, his intro was one of Norton's speeches.
Because we don't talk about what we're doing. It's like our show
we get here and then we go, all right, listen, this is what I want to do, and you're going to do that.
Right. It just happened to be that Joe was going to pick out my opening line of the corporation, Norton explaining a corporation.
Yeah. But my thing was one of Norton's great speeches, and Louis did one of Norton's other great speeches,
where he's being very intelligent,
eloquent, very, very regal, regal, all of those things,
all those things,
all those things that Ed Norton you would never think he does,
but he does more than we realize.
More than we realize, exactly. But this is from Dial J.
Dial J
for janitor.
I mean, we don't need that part.
Just Dial J, of course.
Good enough.
And it's when Ralph decides he wants to be janitor, along with keeping his job, and Norton decides to give him the speech, and it's a great speech.
Wait a minute, Ralph. Well, I think your wife speaks words of wisdom. I think that at a time like this, you should just stop and give serious consideration to this before you assume these grave responsibilities. Now, do you realize all the long hours entailed in this job? Long hours that normally would be devoted to Alice and to your other friends and to recreational activities? True, there will be some financial reward or remuneraries. But if you realize that money is a mere nothing compared to the sacrifices you're going to make to this here job as janitor.
This here job.
Now, considering all of this, you still want to be janitor? I certainly do. Okay. Fix my pipes.
And Ralph throws in that Oliver Hardy line. I certainly do.
Oh, whatever.
But what a great speech.
Oh, great speech.
The enumeraries.
Enumeraries.
Do you even know what he's supposed to say?
Yeah, enumeraries. Enumeraries, I believe the word
Enumeraries?
is. Enumeraries, yeah. And I don't even know if it fits in there.
Do you know what a numerary is?
Off the top of my head.
I mean, it sounds like like numerical.
Like something, I don't know, some outward thing that would benefit you in some way. I don't know. I have no idea. I never looked up enumeraries.
Numeraries.
Like I said, I don't even know if he's saying it right.
Yeah, I don't even think he's saying it right either.
I think the word is enumeraries.
Enumeraries.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna have to look that up and see what it is. It's got to be something to do with
financial something, like some kind of financial gain.
Something like that. Yeah, absolutely.
Like chattels or something.
What's a chattel? But what a great speech!
Oh, great.
Ed Norton. Eloquent. The Art Carney. And it's actually something probably Art Carney would have actually said. Because he was a kind of a. He was a fancy guy.
Oh yeah,
fancy. Well, you know what I mean by fancy. He wasn't a recluse by any means.
No,
he was a big drinker.
Yes,
but he wasn't like this crazy, hood guy.
No, no.
He wasn't a Ken Lynch.
No, Ken Lynch.
And we'll get to that later.
Get that later. We'll hold on to that. We don't want to go off on a Ken Lynch tangent right now. That'll take an hour of our show.
We'll have to split this up into 2 episodes.
Part 1, part 2.
I do love it. And there's a couple more that he does.
Yep.
And they're just so great because they're out of left field.
Yeah, Joe, there's a lot more than we realize when he speaks using words that you wouldn't think.
Yes. Ed Norton would say.
Like Ed Norton thespian.
Well, it's kind of like their video, but it wasn't with Ed Norton. It was with Harry at the pool.
The pool, yeah.
What is it? What do we call it? When he was
like pontificating
about the examples
of like why can't get new members.
Right. I forgot what the video was called, but it's just great.
But they do pontificate. Those we covered that in that Harry episode. Those Brooklyn guys did pontificate, like in the Damon Runyon type way. And they did pontificate. It just didn't sound right because you're saying with that accent, so it just sometimes doesn't sound like. We say like he's trying to sound like William F. Buckley saying it, and Ed Norton saying it. It could be saying the same thing. It's just not going to sound the same.
Like they say, you could take somebody from Alabama and have him say the same thing as somebody from Great Britain.
Yeah.
I don't care what the guy from Great Britain, I don't care what the guy from Alabama says, he's going to sound dopier.
Yeah,
it's just that Southern accent. So this is right in the middle.
It's in the middle.
Like literally in the middle and verbally in the middle of regal, British, and hillbilly from like from the
he's
right in the middle there.
From Appalachia or something. Bensonhurst.
They just because you know what they were regular. I guess they were regular guys for that time.
They were,
and
they're very typical.
They weren't total mooks.
No, not at all.
Not total dummies.
Not at all. Because you get street smart.
Yes,
you do get street smart. I'm
right.
sorry, that happens.
And Norton would always, and I think he was that first character that would be like Dopey, but then would have that moment of brilliance.
And
he would do that, and you see that in so many sitcoms.
Yep.
Coach, Woody.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many.
Yep.
That with the dumb neighbor or whatever, where all of a sudden,
sense.
Yeah, and all of a sudden they're like, wait a minute, they just came up with something that solved the whole thing. So. All from Ed Norton.
Remember, you were wrong last night.
Yeah.
So
exactly. Remember last night you were wrong. Yeah, exactly. Like
he was like
Ed Norton was the voice of reason at some times.
Well, he was level-headed.
Yeah,
that's true. Compared with Ralph, who's
anything but
level-headed. From level-headed, and you have Norton, who is actually level-headed.
Right. Little dopey, but
level-headed. Didn't fly off the handle ever.
No.
So.
Do we ever see him get mad in the original 39? I think the one time when he threw him out.
Yeah.
With the, McGillicuddy. With the deciding vote.
Mm-hmm.
But he really didn't. He didn't get. He just was like, and he turned around and he almost very regal, like, almost like I'll let it get up and walk out.
Yeah, be that way. And that's just be that way, and I'll just move on.
Yeah, exactly. Ed Norton, the great Ed Norton, of course. Yeah. Okay, so where are we going now? This is great. Okay, we're gonna rehash something that we did last week, last episode, but we have a different take on it, obviously. It's from Brother Ralph, one of my favorites, and last week's episode was called Spaghetti, Lima Beans, Mashed Potatoes, and Hot Dogs. And we're gonna use the same clip, and we probably won't play the whole thing. But we're going to get into an observation. Wait a minute. Is this a Louis observation?
Yeah, it is.
This is a Louis observations. I apologize.
So we're going to play the song.
Here we go. I recognize this song.
Yeah.
And now, from the observation deck overlooking the Johnson Building at 328 Chauncey Street, the Honeymooners podcast presents Louis Observations.
Joey Image.
That's my pal Joey Image. All right. I am looking forward to this observation. All right, here we go. Okay. Brother Ralph, Alice comes home.
Yep.
And here we go.
Oh, that feels good. What are we having for supper, Ralph?
Oh, I made some spaghetti, lima beans, mashed potatoes, and hot dogs.
Oh, no, Ralph, not hot dogs again.
What do you mean? No, not hot dogs again.
Nothing, Ralph, except this is only the third time in a week that we've had them.
Are you complaining, Alice? Is that what you're doing, complaining?
Make cracks?
I suppose you'd like to have a nice, big, thick steak.
Well, now that you mention it, I would like a nice, big, thick steak.
How do you expect me to get it on the money you give me to run this house?
Oh, never mind, Ralph, forget it.
I don't want to forget it. Sure, it's easy for you to come home, crack, make criticisms about the food. Sure. But I've been slaving over a hot stove all day.
All right, Ralph, I'm sorry. Let's not argue.
Okay.
All right,
that's all we need right there.
One thing, when me and Joe do this show, like I said, it's not planned out.
Right. I mean, we have an idea.
We have an idea
where we're going. We don't know where it's going to end up going.
We don't even talk to each other during the week. So what happens is when you do stuff like this, and it's basically we're ad-libbing a lot.
Correct.
Right, because it's a very loosely written show. That after the show's over, we always say to each other, oh, my God, I should have said this at that time, and I didn't. So that's why we're going back, because we had the observation. That was the same scene with the observation last week with Alice's changing of the clothes. Like, why did you have to change clothes? And we went on with that.
And then we did the whole thing about the playing of the switch.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
where
we did the role reversal thing.
The role reversal thing, how it was different than in more of a regular role reversal, like Odd Couple kind of thing.
We went for it. It seemed pretty good with the clothing and Ralph wearing his bus driver's outfit. Yes. You know, he's not even working. But anyway. But the observation this week is we were going over the famous menu of what is it? Spaghetti,
Spaghetti,
lima beans, mashed potatoes,
and hot dogs. Right.
And one of our listeners, Kevin, says when he's cooking something, they ask him what he's cooking. That's his answer.
Oh, is that
he
what
just
he
says? That's his
right.
standard answer, no matter what he's cooking. So
Anyway, they're all mentally ill. They're all mentally ill.
So it's good though. That's our audience. So me, I'm a cook. So
you enjoy.
I enjoy cooking. Yeah. So here's the deal. Ralph says he's slaving over a hot stove all day. Spaghetti, 8 minutes. Lima beans, open a can. Mashed potatoes, another 10 minutes. Hot dogs, the water boils, throw them in, take them. What are you slaving?
The
whole
four more simplest things. They're not even. It's not even like eggs where you have to peel them.
It's like total cooking time and 15 minutes.
And I'm not even a chef.
Yeah.
And I can handle that.
Joe can handle that.
I don't like cooking at all.
Yeah, I love cooking. So that's I was like, this whole thing takes 15 minutes. That's something you put together when you don't have anything to eat.
Right, exactly.
That's not the meal. You're not planning that as your meal. It would be like roast beef and mashed potatoes.
Yeah. The peas and carrots. Right.
That's the planned meal.
That's a planned meal.
Yeah,
that roast beef's got to cook.
You got to cook. You got to brown the roast beef. You got to put it in the oven. You got to make your gravy.
Right.
The whole thing. But that was the observation. I was like, wait a minute. This thing takes 15 minutes. What are you slaving?
And maybe that was in it as a subtle joke. Maybe.
Could have been.
For the writers.
Yeah, right.
Because think about it. The joke is the spaghetti, lima beans, the four idiotic things that you would never...
Unrelated food groups.
Yeah, which is brilliant, by the way.
Phenomenal.
So funny to put that together. And then for him to very subtly say... Slave over a stove
Slaving over a hot stove all day.
With four things that do not take
any time at all.
And in fact, you can have them going at the same time, and you have it all done in 8 minutes.
Really. You're all done. 4 burners going, boom, 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 done. 8 minutes.
I love it. I absolutely love it. It's just a great observation.
It's one of those things. You're going to see more and more of this. It's going to be like a new bit that things we forgot.
Oh, absolutely, without a doubt.
Because we say to each other all the time, like, Joe, I should have said this at that time.
And why can't we go back?
Yeah.
Which goes back to what Ira said. You guys will never ever run out of material.
Yeah.
And I think he's
That's
right.
about the things we forget to say. We have shows.
Unbelievable. All right.
So that was the observation.
This one we want to get to because we're having fun with it. We're not going to do it every week.
No.
But we're looking for, before we even start doing this, because then we're just going to have fun with it, but we're looking for a title.
Yeah.
We're looking for a title. If anybody comes up with a good title, please email us on the Facebook page, whatever. But the great Ken Lynch. The great Ken Lynch. I mean, I think I still, here we go.
Cramden?
I don't know anything.
Police department, Mr. Cramden.
I don't know nothing.
Now, look, you're in a bad spot. You know that? I'm going to tell you just what I told your pal down at the pool room. Your safety and your life is in danger if you don't give us a description.
I didn't see anything.
These fellas are killers. They shot the night watchman.
I don't know anything.
You don't know anything, huh? All right. I'm going to give you a break. I'm leaving a policeman downstairs to look after you overnight. But if you don't tell us what you know by morning, you're on your own. If you're not a witness, you're not entitled to police protection. And thanks for nothing.
45 seconds.
45 seconds.
That is it. 45 seconds on screen.
On screen, that's great.
And absolutely brilliant.
One of the top 45 seconds in the history of film.
So we thought, all right, again, we're going to go with a little Ken Lynch.
Yeah. So here's the thing before we get into it, Joe. Yeah. We love doing it. And it's all came about by Joe saying, what if he played a Latin lover? And then I came in, Ken Lynch as Carlos Sanchez. It just came by because of Joe saying, what if he played a Latin lover? Not thinking of, and it just clicked in our heads.
And
and a skit is born.
A skit is born.
And we love it. And we've been getting positive feedback on it, too, from people who are loving it. They're giving us, like, oh, how about Ken Lynch is this guy and that guy? I just tell everybody, calm down, calm down. We're going to get to all these people because there's a ton of people.
Be calm and cool.
Cool, calm and cool.
And cool.
Hey there.
Hey there, Ken Lynch.
Ken Lynch, hey there.
So we thought we're going to try it again and do Ken Lynch as the great Dr. Folsom. And Dr. Folsom, another guy who's on screen not too long. We discussed about him being, we think he's a doctor in real life.
Now, what I'm just thinking, what we forgot right now is that we should have put in Dr. Folsom as our one and done guy. And then went into Ken Lynch.
That's a great
But that's okay.
idea.
Well, let's save that. We'll save that for
That's actually a great way to do
the Ken Lynch thing. Play the one and play it. What do we call it? The player of the week. The one and done player of the week
with Bruce Martin doing that voice.
With Bruce Martin doing the voice, and then go right into Ken Lynch as that guy.
Oh, that's brilliant.
So good. Here's another skit is born today.
Yeah, that's how we'll do the Ken Lynch thing. That is great. And what is that? Is that which one is that? Is that a matter of record?
Yeah, because that's when she leaves him, right?
It is a matter of record, right?
Throws a steak at him.
Right? She throws a steak at him at the end.
Yeah. That's how we should do this.
Yes.
Because it's just it's a natural segue.
Yes.
Because we're going to do Ken Lynch as these characters. And
Correct.
most likely it's going to be as a one and done guy.
Yes.
Or but we could also do like, Ken Lynch playing like a Freddie Muller part or something like, which is okay. That's fine too.
Right. Yep, exactly.
But I think it's funnier as the one and done guys because they just disappear.
Yes.
They're there and then they're gone.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. We could. I have Folsom. We could play a little Folsom.
Play some Folsom,
right?
And she forgives you. That's probably done now. Alice?
Why would she knock?
Yes, sir?
Yeah.
I'm Dr. Folsom. I'm with the Department of Health. Do any children live in this apartment?
No, just my wife and myself.
There's an epidemic of measles in this building. The Manicotti boy has them, the Garrity boy, and Mrs. Bennett's son. Apparently, it's still spreading.
Manicotti? Bennett's the guy. There goes my stickball team. Well, there's no children live here.
I'm just checking.
It's all right. What are you looking at?
What are you looking at?
Would you mind opening your mouth, please? Uh-huh. Did you ever have the measles?
No.
Well, you got them now.
That's impossible!
Ralph's gonna get the measles, go break out and...
Shut up!
What was he going to say?
The measles? He's the one that plays with the kids. I don't play with them. How could I catch the measles?
Very simple. You probably got them from him.
From 10 feet away. Open your mouth.
Yes.
Well, you're both in the same boat. Just a minute, madam. You live here?
Oh, wait a minute. She doesn't understand. That's just my wife. She's been away for 3 weeks.
Understand what?
There's an epidemic of measles. Your husband and this gentleman are infected. Now, you're very fortunate that you've been away. If you want to avoid measles, I suggest you stay away until the infection has subsided. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. That's it.
Good afternoon.
That's it. That's just how it ends. Good afternoon.
Yes.
You're on your own.
Yeah.
It's on your own until your little spots disappear.
You're in the same boat.
Yeah.
Imagine Ken Lynch.
Ken Lynch coming in. Hi, this is Dr. Folsom from the health department.
From the health department.
Any kids live in this building?
No. It's just me and my wife. There's an epidemic of measles.
The measles going on in this building.
Yeah, crazy amount of measles.
Crazy stuff going on here. There you go. Well, yeah, I'm not the one. Who plays it? He plays with the kids. You, open your mouth. All right.
Have you ever had the measles?
No.
You got them now,
pal. Oh, whoa, lady.
Well, lady,
wait,
thanks for nothing.
What the blood? Who's this broad? That's my wife.
That's my wife. She's been away for 3 weeks. Well, good for you,
You
lady.
lady.
Good for you,
You.
because these two mopes, they got the measles.
Got the measles. There's this epidemic. It could turn into a pandemic. If it were 2020, forget about it.
The Bennett boy. The other little kid, that
Garrity
little
kid.
spoiled kid over there.
The Bennett,
they all got
yeah,
it.
Garrity Bennett, Mrs. Yeah, who's it? Mrs. Bennett's kid, that little brat. I'm glad he got him.
They're gonna grow up to be criminals anyway.
That's right. I'll get him in. I'll get him when I'm playing a detective.
Oh God, that's great.
The many faces.
Many faces of Ken Lynch. I guess that might be.
We have to call it that.
I think we have to call it
something,
that. The
yeah.
many faces of Ken Lynch.
Ken Lynch.
Very, very good.
And I suggest you stay away until this infection has subsided, which means when it's gotten done and out of here. Now, I'm not going to do anything else for you. I'm just going to leave. You know? No penicillin, no nothing.
Yeah. Do you want any advice? Not giving you any. Gotta go.
I gotta go.
I gotta go golf. Gotta go golf with Mr. Marshall.
Mr. Marshall with Silver Oaks. Him and that other jerk, Douglas.
Him and that stumbling, bumbling moron, Douglas
guy.
I gotta go play with him, her, she, him.
All of them.
Oh, God. I think that's what we got to call it. The many faces
of
Ken Lynch. Yep.
Ken Lynch.
That's great. Well, thanks for nothing.
One thing good about him, Joe, he's like so easy to imitate.
Oh, yeah.
He's great. He's so easy.
Even if we don't sound like them, they know what we're doing.
They know what we're doing. It's
exactly.
like it's not our voices. Like
right. Exactly.
It's
exactly.
Something else. He's got like that typical gravelly.
Yeah.
An easy voice.
Grit.
Yeah, gritty, gravelly voice. Just easy to imitate.
Yeah, because it's nothing specific.
No.
But it's just tough guy voice.
Yeah, no, he's not.
So it is.
Sound like George
tough
Plimpton.
guy voice.
He's like, he's got that tough guy voice.
Tough guy voice.
Yeah, that anybody could do.
I love it.
Even us.
Even two mopes like us. All right. The last thing we want to do today is from Here Comes the Bride.
Oh, Here Comes the Bride. Yeah,
okay?
great.
And this part of it is right before Ralph comes home. Mm-hmm. When he gets the idea to have Agnes and Stanley get together. And when Stanley walks in, they instantly fall back in love. Mm-hmm. But we have, I guess it's like an observation.
Yeah, Joe. Yeah, this is basically Joe's observation. We were discussing it before. And Joe,
we were talking about Agnes.
Yeah.
And we always say Agnes, she did a great job.
Oh, she did a great job.
Yeah, whining and complaining.
Really, she looked like that kind of one. You just want to punch in the face, like one of them whiny women. Like
yeah. Apparently, he's doing Ken Lynch right now.
Right.
Folks.
That wasn't me. That was Ken. I should have said it this way. Yeah, one of them whiny women just want to punch in the face.
One of those broads, you want to give him a shot right to the jaw. But
hey, sister,
sister. But here is Agnes, and this is the scene. And I'll tell you what we'll do.
Come in. Stanley!
Agnes, sweetheart.
I knew this would happen if you just saw each other.
Oh, Stanley,
Did you?
I'm so happy. I never should have left you, not even for a minute. Can you ever forgive me?
Forgive you? It was all my fault, darling one. I should never have talked the way I did, sweetheart. I never should have listened to Ralph.
Well, that's all past now, sweet face. We're together again, and that's what counts.
Stanley, what was that you just said about listening to Ralph?
I never should have listened to him, Alice. The other night at the bachelor party, he was telling me I should lay the law down about moving in with Agnes's mother and father, and that I should let Agnes know right away that I was king of the castle and boss of the family.
Mm-hmm.
How dare he interfere like that?
Oh, I knew it couldn't be Stanley's fault. It's all your husband's fault, Alice.
Oh, just wait until he gets home.
No, he's a beast.
All right, and then Ralph comes in. And Ralph is like all confident.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
like, hey, and then he does the thing with the thumb and all that. But here's my one little observation about Agnes. Agnes says, I knew it couldn't have been Stanley's fault. It was all Ralph's fault. Like, wait a minute. 5 minutes ago, Stanley was a beast.
You walked out of him on your wedding night.
Exactly. But now you knew it wasn't Stanley's fault because you found out Ralph did it.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. It was Stanley's fault.
It was Stanley's fault.
Stanley did not have to listen to Ralph.
No.
Ralph didn't have a gun to his back.
Or he just could have said, "Oh, I'm sorry, Agnes. I got these things from Ralph."
Yeah,
That's all.
exactly.
Stopped it right.
Right, exactly. Right when she left.
Yeah.
But Ralph didn't force him to.
No.
Stanley was being a jerk.
Yeah.
And he was being a jerk because Stanley wanted to be a jerk.
Yeah, well, because that's who he is. He's a mouse.
Yeah, he's a mouse. Yeah, you can't trust him.
I don't know. And Agnes found the perfect guy for herself.
Perfect guy. But now the continuation of this is when he comes in and Ralph's like, "Hey, well," and Louis makes the great observation where he goes, "He's so confident."
Yeah, he's like, this stupid plan is gonna work.
Well, it's gonna work to where he's not gonna get ratted out.
Yeah. But like you said, now if the dinner thing came off and they were actually sitting down eating their roast beef, peas and carrots,
whatever. And all that part of the plan.
Part of the plan. If the conversation came up during this, don't you think?
Yeah,
Stanley would have said.
Of course.
Something?
What are you going to pull a Bill Davis thing? Like, oh, Stanley, don't talk about business.
Yeah, don't talk about business.
No, he's going to mention listen, you know what, Ralph? It didn't work. I'm not the king of the castle kind of guy. And it all would have blew up in his face. Yeah. Like, how did Ralph not figure out that this is all going to end badly?
And it's because it's an awful. But even Alice says, "Oh, that's so silly." He goes, "Get them together. That's okay."
Right.
Which is okay, but it's gotta come up.
It's gonna fall. It's crumbling down. This thing is going to end badly.
Badly, especially when you got a person like Agnes. Now you know she's gonna be just spilling her guts out.
And Stanley, the mouse,
yes, dear, yes, dear. He'll be like, yes, dear, in her, yes, sweetheart face, and all that, whatever he called her, darling one, yes, darling one,
sweetheart
yes,
face,
darling one.
But it's just great how this thing came tumbling down, obviously. But how does Ralph not know that this is going to end badly?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, when he was with the hat, when he goes, "Let's go down there and find out what happened to him." No. Let's not do that. Let's invite him to the apartment.
Yeah, like he's not going to say the same thing that you said.
Go to bed.
Go to bed. But Ralph, you said
go to bed. Go to bed.
Great line.
Oh,
just
God.
the delivery of that line. Sometimes, we always say it's not the line, it's the delivery.
It's the delivery.
And that's there's a couple of lines that don't get laughs, like, "I will not go on tonight." Great line.
Right.
"How can you do this to me?" Two lines in that scene from the Rachel scene that don't get laughs. But the delivery is phenomenal. So it just happens here too with this scene.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just delivery of the line.
If you read it, you wouldn't laugh.
You wouldn't laugh. You wouldn't know what the
But
heck.
watching him deliver it.
Yes. Go to bed.
But what go to
bed. When you don't get it. Like two phenomenal.
Anybody who's a DEFCON 3 just knows.
It's got to be go get it. It's got to be your favorite. It's got to be like in whatever heck your favorite is, your top 10, 100, whatever it is.
Yeah,
it's in there.
A thing that he's doing, a mumble or whatever it is. But everybody knows.
Everybody.
Go in here and get it. The thumb thing. If I just go to you and say the thumb thing, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what exactly you're talking about. You get it. I'm not going to master that way.
It's so great.
So anyway, that's a great scene.
Absolutely.
And we just figured, we're just talking about it when Joe brought it up, when put it by me, you're right. Like, what made him think? And he walked in so confident.
I know.
I would have been out there like, oh my God, like you walked in sweating. He's always sweating anyway.
Yeah. I love when Louis said that. He goes, he comes in so confident. It's like, how do you not know that this is all gonna fall apart?
Really,
in front of your very eyes.
I guess the roast beef didn't cut it. I don't know. Now Alice was slaving over a hot stove. That's slaving over.
Absolutely. All right. Let's not finish the show without a staple from the show.
Oh, yeah.
And that is.
And now, Tom, who is our first guest, please?
Our first guest, ready to leap the first hurdle on his way to the $99,000 answer, is our
courier from Parsippany, New Jersey in Morris County, Joe Conti. Yay, Joe Conti.
All right.
Hope you miss it.
On here?
All right. Sorry. Just threw that in.
Last minute kind of thing. Yeah.
All right. Here we go.
All right, Joe.
What are we doing today?
What do we got? Let's see what we have here. Of course, I have nothing prepared. I only had 2 weeks to do this. And with nothing to do absolutely all day long. How about, let me see.
I am good for doing
whatever
you want to do.
All right, I got a lot of ripped pages in front of me.
Yes.
Let's see. How about this one? This is basically the name's the same, and we've done this one before. Tommy. Give me the 4 Tommies.
Ooh,
there's
4.
4 Tommies, and tell me what they did or what episode it was from.
Okay. Tommy Manicotti,
Yes.
obviously, from the Matter of Record, right? Tommy Mullins from the Christmas episode.
Yep.
2 more?
Yeah.
Tommy Mullins, Tommy Manicotti.
It was also from Trapped.
Does that count when he with the water pistol?
Yeah.
It's the same kid, though,
Yeah, same
right?
kid, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so is that the third one?
No, that's him. That's the 2 Tommy Monicottis. He's basically mentioned in here.
Right.
But he's actually...
And then he's Johnny Bennett in the other
with
one.
the other one, but I'm saying, but he as Tommy, he actually appears in Trapped as Tommy Manicotti.
Right, but doesn't he also appear in? No, because he's Johnny Bennett.
He's Johnny Bennett.
Right.
He makes one appearance as Tommy Manicotti.
And one appearance as Tommy as Johnny Bennett. Right.
That's Trapped. He's from Trapped. And there's 2 more.
There's 2 more. Tommy. I know you guys who are listening are probably like they're screaming
at whatever heck they're listening on. Me, it would be like a transistor radio.
Tommy. Let me see. A pal of mine. Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank.
On hints?
Tommy.
On hints?
Give me a hint.
I'll give you one hint for the other one.
Or yeah. That's wait a minute. That's from $99,000 Answer. How come I'm drawing a blank here? Wait a minute. I can't believe I'm drawing.
He's the announcer. Herb. Tom, tell him over next.
Oh, that's right, Tom. Tom, tell him it's Freddie Muller.
Oh, yeah. And the other one.
Oh
let me
my
see
God.
Here. Funny Money. What did he do in Funny Money?
It's not Ziggy. It's not Boss. It's the paper boss. Is Mr. Gunther Tommy?
No, he's Mr. Gunther.
Apparently, Mr. Gunther got out of donuts.
Yeah.
Went into the
counterfeiting business.
counterfeiting business.
Hey, boss, this is a lot better than donuts.
Oh, he got arrested.
Yeah.
Yes, Tommy. Tommy, Irish name.
Yes. Well, what is it in that show?
Yeah, I know that was. He got arrested for bringing your cleaners. Tommy Doyle.
There we go.
Hey,
oh man,
God.
struggle to that. There you
I
go.
can't believe
Tommy
it.
Doyle. You
Wow.
got it though.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was just
Yeah,
pretty pathetic. My goodness. All right. You know what we didn't do today?
What?
We didn't mention our wonderful sponsor.
Our sponsor.
Yeah,
Oh,
we forgot
that's
to
right.
mention
We
our
forgot. Well,
sponsor.
we'll do it right now.
Yeah, well, absolutely. First of all, that's who we thank. Our great sponsor, Jeff Kingfish Levinsky, SilkCityHotSauce.com.
Yeah.
Go to Silk City Hot Sauce, right? And when you go on the website, you go and you pick out your favorite hot sauce. I like the Taco Fiesta. Louis likes
Badass
Jew. and-
Aztec Attack, Smoking.
Right?
All good.
All good,
All
right? Phenomenal. And when you go in to pay for it, there's a little coupon code, a little thing in the corner, and you put RX. You type the letters R and X in it, and then when they tally up your money, you get 15% off of your order.
15% percentage.
15% percentage of zero is zero. And you get a free bottle of cherry sriracha.
Yes.
Absolutely. So don't forget that. And who else can we thank? All of you guys.
Mm-hmm.
All of you guys and gals who listen every single episode. Email us, comment on our Facebook page, and some of you special pals like Kevin and Bibbs and Ira and all you maniacs. You're all out of your mind.
Yeah.
Who else can we thank? The great Facebook group, the Honeymooners Raccoon Lodge, with Joy and Brother Norton.
Yeah.
All right? And don't forget to check out if you're interested. And I love the quote of the one guy, I think it was Kevin, or no, Mark, who downloaded my CD or listened to my audio. And he said, the Joe Conti on the podcast is nothing like the Joe Conti in stand-up. So if that doesn't make you go, But if you want,
this out.
It's my 1 hour. It's 10 years old, but I actually listened to it one day, and I couldn't believe I actually thought it wasn't half bad. It wasn't half good, but it's my 1 hour comedy DVD CD. It's called Happiness. You can download it anywhere you get music or comedy if you want to support me, or you could just find it and just listen to it for free. And if you enjoy it, let me know. I appreciate, nice things to say about me. And if you're going to critique it, I don't want to hear it.
Yep.
I think enough bad things about myself. I don't need you guys to pile on, all right?
No dog pile on the rabbits.
Well, that's it, folks. Episode number 71. In the books.
Mm-hmm.
So, for me, Joe Conti, and my pal Louis Fats, we say we'll see you next time.
E pluribus raccoonum nido.
Good night.
Good
Thank
night.
you. Good night.
We'll have to do this again real soon.
How about tomorrow night?
This has been a non-productive media presentation. Executive producer Frank Hablawi. This program and many others like it on the Non-Productive Network is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives license. Please share it, but ask before trying to change it or sell it. For more information, visit non-productive.com.